How are you actually making us use coasters?
What?
You're actually making us use these granny coasters.
It's Mrs. W.
Mrs. W will tits up. I'm sure we can charge her through that door if she sees
You think you're dying,
your
yeah.
table.
The freeze will be like that.
What?
We can get a runner if you want one of those, a long runner.
This is very civilised.
You can move it, see if the coaster's bothering you, you can take it away, but you can give Caroline a wee. I'll give Caroline a phone, you can explain why there's a big fuck off ring on the table, on the new table. I think that for me, if I had the app when I was at my rock bottom, it would have been a huge help, because I thought I was abnormal. I thought I was unique. I thought there was something seriously wrong with it. I thought I was the only person in the world to have these feelings. And see if I was able to go onto my phone and find out a bit of information about what I was feeling. If I was able to type in, I'm feeling suicidal but I don't know why, or I'm feeling suicidal because of an action I've done, and I was able to get an explanation online, and even to the extent that I was able to go and phone somebody without anybody else knowing. I know there's a lot of numbers online and things like that you can use, but if you've had an app on your phone to say, I'm going to give this person a phone and go and have a quiet word, I'm in bother.
I think, well, for me, like, even if I'm feeling low, there's days that even if my mum or brother try and phone me, I'll just not answer the phone. But I've got this thing where it's like, don't worry about me, I just don't want to speak. But if you've got an app, one, you don't need to speak to somebody on the phone unless you really need to, and there's a number there. But like you're saying, if it's got the information there that might trigger something for you, you might look at something else that you might not have thought of. So you might be thinking, I think I'm this, but oh wait, that makes a bit more sense, and it might just put you at ease a little bit.
Yeah. It would be brilliant that the fact that, see if you are thinking something and it's kind of got a lead to it, so you've got this horrible thought, I can't live with this anymore, I can't do this anymore. The easy way out is to go and take pills. That's my own thing. That's what I would have done. I'll go and take pills, or I'll go and try and cut my wrists, or I'll go and try and do something. If I was able to go onto the phone and it takes away that mind thought of I'm going to kill myself, so you start reading about this. At the point I know where I would be at, I would have no intention of phoning anybody at that point. When I'm reading this, I would, because I just wouldn't do it. But then when you're reading this and you say, you know what, that trigger could happen or will happen, that I'm reading this here and there is something wrong with here. Oh, there's a phone number, I'm going to give them a phone.
Or even practical things that might say, right, I'll maybe try and go out a walk, put on your favourite song, maybe try deep breathing, something that you might find there that might just help calm you down, just to give you that bit of peace.
And it's discreet, and nobody knows.
Discreet discretion.
If you think about addressing mental health issues, one of the toughest things is taking that first step of getting help.
Yeah.
And the app, in a way, is a first step in getting help, and what it's done is it's completely simplified the process. Like, it's very difficult to go to a doctor or to even go to a friend and sort of saying, I'm struggling with my mental health. But if you have this app that will allow you to acknowledge or get more information about mental health, then that in itself is a first step,
It's dehumanised it.
I think I totally agree with that, because everything is, a lot of things now is on your phone. A lot of people reach for their phone through anything, whether it's to Google something, whether it's to find clothing, whether it's to go out, eat. So it's kind of playing to that now. It's kind of playing to that audience, that the audience there is for being on your phone. And I think that seeing other people who are going through things who you might have looked at on the street and went, they're never suffering for that, they'll never get that, and it's like, well, he does this and that, but he struggles to get up in the morning, or he looks like a fit and healthy guy, but he can't have sex with his partner for some reason. Like, and it might go, do you know what?
It hugely, an app's never going to judge you. Whereas if I was always worried.
You've never been on Tinder, have you?
Been married for a long time. Happily.
An app's never going to judge you.
But no, well, a mental health app's not going to judge you, is it?
It's not. It's not.
So, if I was to go to a doctor, even when my mental health was recently, I always think the doctor's judging me. The doctor thinks I'm a dafty because I'm saying I'm struggling and all that. If I was to go to somebody else, I'm worried about what they're thinking about me, because I'm opening up to them and saying I'm a guy here and I'm struggling, which isn't easy for a guy to do.
Yeah.
But whereas if you've got an app there that's no laughing at you, no, people don't laugh at you, but I think they do. So I'm thinking that's just the way that you are. That's just the way that I am. So if you've got an app, it's not going to judge you.
There's a real stigma even just about the term mental health. It's just the word mental, isn't it? Like as soon as you hear that word, people just go, something's
Same
not
with
right there, you know.
It's a horrible word.
But what people forget is that mental health and physical health, it all comes under the health bracket. Something can go wrong in your mind just as easily as it can go wrong in your heart or your kidneys or anything, you know. Like it's all part of you know.
Well, I definitely believe that for you to be physically active, whether you want to put it in a percentage, your mental health has to be higher a percentage than the physical. So say you think of it's 51% compared to 49. If your physical health is at 60 but your mental health is 40, that's going to soon go back down again because you won't be able to be physically active. So if your mind's not in it, you're just not going to be able to do anything. I think it's
the thing is, if you're thinking bad thoughts, you get weak. You do. If you're feeling down in the dumps, and if you're feeling that you can't be bothered getting out, you're going to physically feel terrible.
Yeah. It's like you watch all these videos on Facebook and YouTube, and it's you know, all these motivational videos about mindset and mentality and all that, and it's like that's the mind as well. So why do we look so positively and so constructively at these Conor McGregor? I mean, I do love Conor McGregor, but like, you know, you see all these this winning mentality thing. That's all part of the mindset. So why do we then look down on mental health issues? It's actually all under the same topic, you know?
I think as well, I can't speak for Conor McGregor, but there'll be things in a lot of people's head that it's not all just the great stuff you see, it's not all the amazing things. And I think with an app that's got to show real people, real experiences, can maybe hopefully people can relate to a bit easier, rather than it's just all...
It's a win-win situation. You don't need to use it all the time, but it's there. You know it's there as a crutch. You know, and that's what I would certainly be using it as a crutch to check something or find out how I could possibly help myself a bit better than what I already am. Because as I said, my mental health is evolving, changes day to day. It changes, but if you have another wee thing or something that you're not completely sure about, it's easy to look at that. And then I think if I looked at the app and it was to tell me something that I was feeling and it gave me a solution, then I think I would find it easier to speak to somebody.
And I think see, we having the app, I think the app can make a big difference. And even if you've got a friend, have you ever been concerned about a friend and you says you've found a number for them, you give them the number, do you think they've actually phoned that number?
No.
But see if you give them by the way, there's the app, have a look at that. There's more chance they've got to download it, they don't need to speak to somebody. And it's a bit,
I get it quite a lot.
Better than handing someone a pamphlet.
Yeah, a pamphlet, and it's a bit scary, and then it's got numbers. And
I hate that word, pamphlet. Must be my OCD.
I was going to say that. I mean, do I talk about it?
No, it's a really creepy word, isn't it? Pamphlet.
I suppressed happiness because I was frightened to feel happy because I felt as if I didn't deserve to feel happy.
I spent a day locked up in my hotel room, literally could not stop crying. The tears were streaming down my face.
I really went off the rails. It was only a night, but I caused a lot of hurt. I went to different psychologists and they basically laughed. So they were saying, no, you're not this. And I was like, this really confused me.
The last house I was in,
it's very nice.
Was
very nice.
We're in a studio room.
Oh yes, we're in that big fancy studio. Tony, you're on dishes.
Got the dishwasher.
Okay.